Welcome.
Welcome.
My name is Meyer Lucas. I am the team leader and owner of the Meyer Lucas Real Estate Team, and this is the Lemon Drop Podcast. Here in South Florida, we are Jupiter's finest real estate team. This podcast is going to serve as a conversation before the hire, where you as buyers and sellers can get to know our agents. Like everything we do at the Meyer Lucas Team, this is raw, unfiltered, never chaotic, little chaotic.
No, Alexa, play Strut the Runway playlist.
Like, how do I land the plane there?
I feel like if it was Alex, he would say, let's show.
Let's show.
Let's show. Welcome. Marissa, it's so good to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever, actually.
I know you've been so busy. I can't even catch up with you.
I literally, every time I see you, and okay, so I don't like it when people talk about my looks. I've had 4 pregnancies, whatever, but I genuinely feel like every time I see you, you look more and more beautiful every single time I see you.
Oh.
You're like just doing it, living life.
Yes.
I'm obsessed with it. How long have you been here at Meyer Lucas now?
I'm going to be a year Friday.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's already been a year.
Yep.
So you and I met before you joined the team,
Yeah,
right?
probably like 6 months before I came to an event here with Caroline.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So funny. When I think back, you were one of Caroline's friends.
Yeah.
And it was like, not only does she have a lot of friends, but over the years, she has introduced me to so many people who have gotten their real estate license. And she, you know her, like she does right by everybody. Like
Yes.
she is like, she's the one, she's the girl. And it's always females too, by the way. It's like, it's always these girls who are former teachers
Yeah.
who are wanting to level up, and they see how successful she's been and get their real estate license. And then most of the time they end up not working out. I'm saying that gingerly.
Yeah.
And so when she introduced me to you, I was like, oh, here we go again. Like another like fickle, flaky. And I'm telling you, we have never had an agent that has hit the ground running and like sprinting and gotten after it in a way that you did. And I have to say, it's not this like you have this hustle and this grind about you, but it's also, I feel like you genuinely in the last year have gone through a renaissance, like with yourself. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah.
Do you wanna
Tons
talk
and
about it a little
tons
bit?
of changes. I don't know. I came here and just, I saw the way that you operated. I saw the way that other teammates here operate. And it just literally, like, I've always had the fire, but a different type of fire got lit. And I've just been 110% in. And there's been a ton of change. Like, this has been a huge shift from teaching to, real estate. But at the same time, it's worked out really well because a lot of the skills that I had with education and teaching and people and advocacy and helping has easily translated into my real estate life.
It's so crazy. Like, you would think that teachers would make great real estate agents. And by the way, they do. Like, some of the best agents that we've had in our ecosystem have been teachers. But I will also say that it's selling real estate is really, really, really hard. Like, it's competitive, it's cutthroat, and I'm not saying that teaching is very, very hard in a different way. Talk a little bit about, so I want to give your backstory, or I want to give you the opportunity to tell your backstory. Talk about where you grew up and how you became an educator, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So I grew up in a suburb north of Boston, and I have a mom and a dad. They're both educators. So I grew up with this. My grandparents were both educators. One was a guidance counselor. The other was a phys ed teacher. So like, I grew up with educators. I saw what we had it like as a life. We always vacationed. I always had my parents. And when I got older, I'm like, this is a great deal. So
You mean having like the summers off?
Yeah, like summers off, the vacations, like we always were together. And like I got home from school, my mom was getting home at the same time or picking me up. Like it was just nice to always have that. And then I played a ton of sports. I was a competitive figure skater up until—
That's right.
Yes, up
That's
until I was
right.
15. But I was 5th in New England. And yeah, I played soccer. So I did that.
Dude, competitive fit, that actually makes so much sense. I feel like you have absolutely zero chill. And I think that figure skaters, to be competitive in that sport, you have to have zero chill. Like, no pun intended. Was it hard?
Oh, it was wildly hard. The bruises, the injuries, it's absolutely insane. Like, it's beautiful to watch, but to get there and to that level of skill is one of the most painful processes like on the planet.
I think if you've ever strapped on skates and like tried to just go backwards.
Yeah,
like how hard it is.
It's wild. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's investment. And I feel like everything I've ever done has been like 110%. So skating, before school, after school, like big high power coaches, choreographers, like the best of the best. Because if I'm doing something, I'm going to be the best at it. And
Yeah.
I'm going to hustle until I become that person. And I'm going to learn from the best in order to get there. And that's just how I feel like my drive for like perfection and to do best always and grow started.
I think that you have the most remarkable mix of that, like, everything that you just said is 100% how you are in real life. Like I've seen it firsthand. Like you literally started here and you had all the trainings done, everything done within the first week. I've never seen it before. Like I'm genuinely like, I hope you absorb that in your soul. Like it is remarkable how you got after it. Truly not just saying that. But what's so interesting to me, so I've been coaching real estate agents and coaching people forever, and you have this unique quality where you have absolutely no chill and you're like relentless, but you're very flexible. I mean, this is the second time you and I have tried to record this where like I had like you literally sat here and you're like, I'm ready. And I'm like, made you wait 30 minutes and I was like, I can't do it today. So like, and not made me feel, because I genuinely had a fire to put out, right?
Yeah.
And like not made me feel bad about that. And that type of being type A, but also being okay with type B is like the best quality for a real estate agent. Like you don't want your sellers to feel like they owe you the showing or your buyers that like they're putting you out.
Right.
Does that make sense? I feel like you have like that unique ability to make people feel safe while also being militantly on the ball.
Yes. Absolutely. It's a nice balance, but it's taken time to get there. I used to be like all the way type A with not much flexibility. So
Really?
that's been through like a lot of growth and change. But now, yeah, I feel like I've mastered that type A, really being able to get all the things done, but then also being able to kind of roll with the punches.
My read on it is that you're just really smart. And so like you sit out the battle of like making me feel bad, for example, for running late on you. Is it a conscious like adjustment that you make?
No, I have more grace, I feel like today with people in general and like how life just kind of happens and it happens regularly. So like I always try to like show up for people the way I would hope they would if things happened with me. You know what I mean? So that's just a way I try to just live today.
Where did you go to college?
Undergrad was UMass, and then I went to American International College for my master's in Springfield, Mass.
Which, by the way, I'm like obsessed with it up there. I feel like it's so, like if you grew up there, the work ethic is just claps different. Do you feel like that plays into how you operate?
Yes, it's very different. When I moved here, it was a very big shift, and the personalities and just how people do operate here is very different. So yeah, like it's a different breed.
It's funny because I feel like people love the New York stereotype about how people in New York are whatever they are.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to go into it, but I feel like one very underrated stereotype being in the North from New England is this like gritty work ethic that as a leader, it's if I can get former athletes from New England, done. Like
Win.
give it to me.
Win.
Yes. You don't give a shit about the cold. You don't give a shit about being early. You don't like early in the morning. I feel like every time there's a meeting here that starts at 8, like you are here with white on rice on time. It's the rest of these Floridians.
I was at the gym at 5, so I was like, she's like 8 a.m. I'm like, no problem.
Yeah, it's okay. Got it.
No problem.
Park my car.
Yeah.
Were you in a sorority in college?
No, I did go and rush, and then the vibe was not there for me.
I feel like I can see that.
Yeah.
Like I
tried. They were mean girls. Like it was just mean girl stuff that I didn't want to tolerate.
It's almost like be the person you needed when you needed help the most.
Yes.
You know? Like
absolutely.
Be friends with the new kids. And I think like with relocations, that's one of the reasons why you like crush those. Because
I love relocation.
Yeah. Tell me why.
I know what it's like to literally pack up and move across the country on a whim. Like, okay, I am done with the cold. I am done with this. And I want something different for my life. And South Florida was it. So being the new kid and being the new mom and being the new, at the time, teacher and the new neighbor and trying to make friends and connections and all these things from scratch, at 35 was a little daunting, but I was able to do it. And I'm just so grateful that I did. And I don't regret it for a second. And it's definitely one of the reasons I love the relocation because I've done that. Now I'm able to do that for other people and make that a seamless transition because it can be scary.
Yeah, you're really, really good at it. Talk a little bit about that. So undergrad was UMass. You got your master's in education. Is that right?
Yes, special ed.
That's right. So you're a special ed teacher, right? Like that's
yes,
what you...
I was special ed teacher and then quickly moved up to special ed administrator. And then when I relocated down here, I went back to special ed teaching, but I also have my principal certification. And once I start doing something, I want to just grow. And
zero chill.
Yes, zero chill. More degrees. Let's go.
I love it. More degrees. I remember the first time that you were telling me about your education background, I was like, got it. So she can do it all. Check. Like kindergarten through Senior year of high school, you
Yes.
could probably teach anything. Is that
Yes.
fair?
K to 12. Yes. All of it.
That's so crazy. So did you jump into education? I mean, immediately after college, right?
No, so I did my undergrad and then I started working in like college admissions. I actually moved to Florida briefly in my early 20s and I lived in Boca and it was very different than what it is today, but I loved it. And I knew that eventually I would end up back here and I did. So I ended up going back home, got married, had a kid, did the whole thing, went back to grad school, started my career, built it up there. But then, I always knew I was going to end up back here somehow.
Okay, so you graduate. How old's your son? When was your son born?
2011.
Okay, so that was like right after college. Is that?
Yeah, so I had my son and I remember right after I had him, I literally gave birth to him in December of 2011 and January, I think 8th, I was starting my master's degree. So I literally just had my son and was like, all right, went back to school. So I ended up, his dad's not in the picture. I never like to disparage people, but he wasn't in a place to be a father. And it was just a challenging situation where we had to, move on. And I was by myself for a while until, I met my husband. He was an incredible man. He had 2 boys of his own from a previous marriage. So we had this nice little blended family. So together we had 3 boys. We, bought the house, did the thing. He worked for law enforcement. I moved to New Hampshire. And we had our life. And things, just kind of took a turn. He passed away tragically in a motorcycle accident, which is crazy because he had been riding for years and just super skilled. And we don't know if it was like an animal that jumped out in the road. It was just, we have no idea. And so devastation followed. We have his boys that he was his world. And my son, who that was the father figure he grew up knowing.
That's
so
so
just
sad.
having to recover from that.
And how old is your son?
How many years ago is this now? 9?
God, that's such a raw age to lose your dad.
Yeah.
Or like your father figure.
Yeah.
I knew that about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so just enamored with your work ethic that I forgot that you lost your husband. It's remarkable how much you've picked yourself up by your bootstraps since.
You quickly realize how you never plan that, widowed at 35 years old.
Yeah.
That's insane. And I never thought that would ever happen. And it was very quickly showed me, okay, you need to get your life in order, Marissa. If anything was to happen to you, what is set up for your child?
I want to keep on your journey, but I think it's important to point out that as a real estate agent, you have a very unique perspective on estate and will. Because you guys owned a house together, right?
Yes.
Did it have to go through probate?
No, so we had it set up where if one of us was to pass, it automatically goes to the next person. And it's definitely important that when you are making those home purchases, that you're having those discussions with your husband or partner or whomever, because again, you don't think in the moment, that exciting moment when you're purchasing a house, that this could be something coming down shortly after, But this is something that you definitely encounter, in real estate. I was there having to suddenly sell a house. Okay, my husband passed away. Now what? The worst thing is to then have to sit and wait in probate and figure out how am I going to cover this mortgage until everything closes. So just the importance of making sure that those pieces are in place when you are buying. And I've been there. I've walked in the shoes, so I'm able to really help, people navigate those things.
Did you hire an agent right away, or how did that?
I did. My brother's friend helped me and was super kind. And I feel like that was so important and literally did everything for me, everything, because I was in a tough spot and just a wreck, literally. And I had to trust that person because I am literally just signing, right? I am not reading things. So it was so important to me that I had an agent that I could trust with my life because everything he sent me, I was just signing because I'm in la la land and just couldn't function. I know being in the position I am now, I want to be that person when people are going through these tragedies, whether it's, deaths, divorces, I want to be that person where they know they can trust me no matter all the crazy things happening. I'm not going to steer them wrong. And everything that I give them is going to be in their best interest. And that was such a huge piece for me. And I thank God for that person.
At what point did you move to South Florida?
So I had this wonderful, life, white picket fence, husband, the blended family, all of our boys together. And it was dark. I struggled with depression, anxiety, and I ended up coming to Florida to get sober. I drank way too much, but that's kind of like what we did up there. Like we drank and rode Harleys. And when it was winter and cold and gray, which was the majority of the year, it felt like sometimes, I just drank. And I knew that I had to make a change. And relocating here and, getting sober was what saved me.
How did you like from one day to the next realize that you were like, or was it a gradual thing, or how did you make the decision to acknowledge it?
It was very like spur of the moment. It was like something needs to change. Like once I commit to something and I decide this is happening, it's happening. So it was one of those things. So I got sober and I haven't, looked back since. But then fast forward, I'm here trying to, not knowing anyone, trying to work on myself and just get better and feel better and stop drinking. And then I am a little over a year sober. And I get the call that my husband was in a motorcycle accident. And I remember saying when I first got sober, I can do this as long as nothing happens to anybody. As long as there's not any, deaths and I'll be fine. I can do this. And then I thank God because I stayed sober.
I was just going to ask you that.
I stayed sober.
That's remarkable.
It was hard. I never thought in a million years that I would be able to do that, but I was able to plan, a beautiful funeral for him and show up and be sober and support the family. And that was such a gift. And that was still one of the greatest gifts sobriety has ever given me.
I think as a real estate agent, it's something when you share that vulnerability, it makes people feel so safe to share their own vulnerabilities. Like real estate is like that, where, it's deaths, it's divorces, it's turbulence, it's things that you have to let your real estate agent in on. And it's one of the biggest reasons why I always say you don't want to work with your friends, especially if you have like a hairy situation going on.
Yeah.
Like if you have to be super honest with your real estate agent. And I think that by being as vulnerable as you are with your own story, it empowers people to be like, this is what's going on at home. I have to get out. I have to sell. Even if it's like financially, like we can't make our mortgage payment. Like I feel like by you sharing your own journey makes me feel safe to say, whatever I need to say.
Well, I've been through most of it. So it's like when someone comes to me with something, most of the time I'm like, been there, it's like
career change, cross-country move. Like you really have bingo.
Yes,
done it
got
all.
it.
Yahtzee. So you move here, you're sober. You feel like you're South Floridian now?
Oh my gosh, 100%. Not when I got here. It took a while. So we're coming up on 6 years and it's taken time.
I feel like for how well you know the area, it doesn't seem like you've only been here for 6 years. Like you know this area well.
I've been living it. Everything here is just every moment I have available, I am exploring a different corner of the area. It's just what I love to do. And there's so many new things I'm discovering all the time. It's incredible.
What area of our area do you like the most? Like schools, if there were no restrictions, where would you want to live?
The Shores.
Interesting.
The Shores, which is so funny because one of my first listings was in the Shores. Had it under contract in like 3 days. I have another one that just went live yesterday in the Shores, already so hot. And but I love it. I love that community. I had another one out there where that one took a little bit longer to sell, but I was out there every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, open houses for a while. And I just fell in love with the community. I started knocking on people's doors, chatting with people. People are walking by down the street. And I'm like, this is my community. So yeah, if that would definitely be my goal. But
I love that answer.
I love the Shores.
What an answer. I love that.
I love the Shores. So as soon as I got this most recent one, I'm like, yes.
Where's the one that you have right now? What street is it on?
Winding Lake.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that answer so much. The Shores is very Marissa coded.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. Can I ask you about another kind of vulnerability? Because it is something that people ask me about all the time. I have gained and lost 100 pounds 4 different times, pregnancy related on my end. But can you talk about your weight loss journey?
Yeah. So I was always super athletic growing up. And then I think it was college is when I started to put on weight. So slowly. Well, actually, no, not slowly, because now I'm thinking about it. So I was one of the first gastric bypass patients at 19 years old.
That's
crazy. So I put on the weight really fast. Honestly, now that I think back, because you had to go through psychologists and nutritionists, and there's a process to get vetted before they would do the surgery. And I don't know how I got through because I put on the weight within a year-ish or two, but then
they gave you gastric bypass
at
what
19.
feels like a temporary weight gain?
Yes.
Freshman?
Yes.
100? How much had you gained?
I think then I was probably 260-ish.
Got it.
So then I had gastric bypass, lost a ton of weight, looked back to like my high school self. So I was good for a while until I got pregnant with my son. And then I was fine during the pregnancy, which was weird. But then after is when I blew up, postpartum depression. And then it kind of spiraled, I feel like, out of control from there. So I started putting on the weight after pregnancy. But
It's
I found
not bizarre.
myself.
Pregnancy is so, like, it can really, really mess with you. Like, especially like if you have seasonal depression anyway, and it's like gray, and that's super, super relatable. I always feel like after I have my babies, like the postpartum depression, all I want to do is be a sloth, but I also have no chill. So like there's like this internal wrestle that makes me even more depressed sometimes, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting. Looking back, because I was young, and I just remember like I always thought like I would get fat while I'm pregnant, and like I just had the belly, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was after the pregnancy that I just started like eating, and I was super depressed on top of already being gray and gross outside. I just became not active, and
Wait, so you developed a drinking problem after having gastric bypass? Aren't you not allowed to eat?
So funny
or
story.
drink with?
No, so this is so crazy. So there are studies that show that people often start having drinking issues post gastric bypass.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. So when people are overweight, the bottom line is, regardless if people want to admit it or not, is you have a negative relationship with food, right?
Right, yeah.
You're not eating the way you should be eating. You're eating to fill a void or do something emotionally for yourself. So, okay, now that's gone, right? I can't eat how I was eating. And then something else starts to happen. You know,
Interesting, yeah.
the drinking piece. So yeah, you can absolutely drink after a gastric bypass. You shouldn't, but I did. And then that kind of became the new thing. But so that's like the whole piece of it is I was feeling something, right, with the food initially, and then it turned into alcohol. And, you know, now it's a completely different, you know, ball game, because I came here and I literally, once I got sober, I looked at every aspect of my life and was like, okay, health, you got to get in check. Like, you're 275 pounds, like this, like enough's enough. And I just very slowly started. First, it was just walking. First, it was walking actually in the pool because my feet hurt so bad from carrying the weight and having to walk. And then, yeah, turned into walking, turned into boxing. And then I was in the gym weightlifting, and it took, yeah, like I literally just hit my goal weight maybe 6 months ago. So it's been a long haul.
Yeah. I feel like you carry yourself differently. And it's not, I don't think, because you are now hot again. I think it's because you feel good about yourself. And like, is that fair?
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, well, it's kind of weird because I'm still feeling like the fat girl. So when I was younger, it was, you know, the pretty athlete. And then it turned into like the funny fat friend.
You are pretty funny.
Like,
you are pretty funny.
I had to be, because nobody wanted to be my friend. Because the reality is, whether you want to believe it or not, like if you're overweight, and I was obese, people judge and look at you differently. And like, I had to have something bringing to the table if I was going to get somewhere being the weight I was. So the smarts, the wit, the sarcasm, and the funny is what got me through.
It's so true.
Like,
I think also so I've been 250 pounds 4 times. So people are genuinely like mean in a way that is so dismissive. Like, it's like they dismiss you as if you don't count in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed this socially when it's a wicked social experiment. Hallie and I talk about this all the time. I will go to an event looking how I do. Like, this is me normal. Now I don't want to be super clear. My weight gains. I gain 100 pounds with every pregnancy, and it takes me about a year to take it off. Mine is different than what people who genuinely have a negative relationship with food.
Sure.
But being in a room in a fat suit, the way I'm treated is 100% different than how I look now. It's like you're invisible. I've had so many people come and introduce themselves to me and then say, "Oh, do you work for Holly?" Like wanting to get information about me.
yeah.
And it's like a party trick where I'm like, "I am Holly." And then there's the way that their like body changes, like not, "Oh shit," but more like what happened to you? Like this, like almost like dark shadow goes over them where it's like, yeah, it's not lost on me how hard that is. And then also, like, is that an identity issue that you feel like you're having now?
I'm working on it, because sometimes I still have, like, my friends will be like, "You're not that girl. Like, open your eyes and look in the mirror right now. Like, what are you doing? You're not that person anymore." But it's hard because at the same time, people that wouldn't give me the time of day 5 years ago I had a similar situation where a gentleman that I had met previously was all of a sudden acknowledging my presence. And it's like, I met you 5 years ago, guy.
Yeah.
Like,
It's weird.
hi.
It's very,
But-
very weird.
Like, but you couldn't talk to me then, right? I'm still the same Marissa, just in a different.
Yeah.
So that's been different.
We work in an industry where people are hiring us for our expertise, for our knowledge, and for the trust. And I think a lot of people psychologically, subconsciously make a decision to not trust someone if they can't even get their own shit together. So if you look overweight, and I know a lot of medical things can cause it, but if you look sloppy, it's the same thing in my opinion as having a like dilapidated car. And I'm not saying like a not expensive car, but I'm saying a car that has like a bumper falling off. If you show up like that for a showing, you lose trust immediately. And I would argue that the way your body looks, like if you're not fine-tuned and you don't have pride in how you look, I think psychologically, like that's why I think people that are overweight get dismissed.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because how I live my life today, my productivity and my drive is 100% different than what it was when I was 275. And that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why people might feel that way. Because yeah, if I can't get my act together to, keep myself healthy, how am I going to be able to support you and it's just, and again, that's my experience, that I know I was struggling with where I was at. It's really hard to show up for people when I was struggling.
Yeah. I hate even saying it like that too, because I think you would have been a fire real estate agent when you were bigger. But I think it's how you feel about yourself. And I think if you are doing it, one of the things I think when you're bigger, like I feel this for sure, like the depression of, postpartum, but like I don't feel good about myself. And so if I don't feel good about myself, it makes me feel like it impacts my work.
I've come to a place in my journey where I'm not afraid to call out how I was and the behaviors that were happening during that time. That's the truth. And it's unfortunate, but that's not what I'm doing today. I'm up at 4:30. I'm at the gym at 5. I'm hustling all day at work. I'm working till 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, whatever it takes. And I wouldn't have been able to have that type of energy and stamina at the weight that I was previously. And that's just my experience.
I love it when you share that you're at the gym at 4:30, that you're doing this, you're doing that, like your day. And you know how people, there's like that like joke about how if you don't post about it, it didn't count. If you didn't post that you were at the gym, were you even there, right?
Yeah.
And I actually think the opposite. I want to work with someone that like on my team, I want someone to represent me who is disciplined and militant. And so, yeah, I think you should share about it. Yeah. And I don't think it does count if you're there and you like, I know that about you. I know how disciplined you are because you're sharing about it.
I get so mad when I don't post it.
Yeah.
When I forget, or like I'm running late or something, I'm like,
dude, you're strong as hell too. Like I would not want to mess with you. It seems like you're like physically, like the way that you've obviously like morphed your body, but it seems like you also like physically are just like jacked. Like,
well, that's
strong.
where I'm at now is I want to get stronger. I've hit that goal weight, and now it's not about weight, or it's just about feeling good and being as strong and healthy as possible. And that's what I love.
Do you feel like you have hit your stride now with real estate?
Yes, I literally have the groove is there and it's moving. And
you're so good at it. One of my favorite stories is this. I don't want to go into the circumstances of this because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but there was a very contentious situation with a client. Just the way that you handled it was just a masterclass in like acknowledging their anxiety over the situation, resolving the situation, not dismissing their anxiety, handling it, not revealing how you handled it. The thing that you do really well is you edit what you reveal, which the best real estate agents do this. Your clients, if they're in a contentious, friction-heavy situation, they don't necessarily want to know how you fixed it. They want to know that you are fixing it. And you do that really, really well.
Well, thanks. I try. It's a delicate dance.
It is a delicate dance. Hot takes on the lemon drop.
Yeah.
Your opinion about a primary bedroom on the ground floor or on the second floor. Does it hurt real estate value or does it help?
I think for Florida in particular, I think it helps because a lot of people are coming here to retire and they want the primary on the first floor so they don't have to go up the stairs.
Great answer.
I've been hearing a lot.
Great answer.
Yeah.
Zero lot line or lots of land?
I think it depends on the family because like I'm a zero lot line kind of girl. I don't want land, but then there are so many families that land is absolutely what they're looking for. So I think that's personal preference.
Pool or no pool?
So here's the tough thing. Like, I love pools, but I don't want one because I don't want to take care of it. So I say community pool. But if you live in Florida and you have kids that are going to use it like every single day, get the pool.
You are the buyer that would buy a house without a pool.
Yeah, probably.
I like,
Just I don't want to take care of it. As long as the HOA has one. It's a lot of work. And when you're so busy, like going, I don't have time to worry about pools.
What's a feature that people have in their homes that they think is valuable that actually, like, from a real estate perspective, adds no value?
Probably central vac. Someone's like, I have central vac. I'm like, cool. People use those?
Central vacs are
I don't know.
inspection. How did the inspection go on it?
We're waiting on the report. Actually, it was yesterday.
We will circle back to this.
Yes.
I feel like I've never had an inspection where the central vac hasn't been messed up.
Oh my God.
It's like a nightmare. What's your love language? Basically, how do your clients love on you?
The ones I've been vibing with the most are either where like I'm kind of like that big sister, like pit bull protecting them, or they're like an older couple where I'm like their little girl.
Yeah.
You know? So it's been very different.
Yeah.
But that's been like the two. So I'm not even sure what that would equate to.
It's interesting in real estate, the role that the agent plays in the role that you fall into, you know, with your clients.
Yeah. Like one of my clients literally was about to call the office because she didn't hear from me in like 2 days. And she's like, it's not like Marissa. She goes, I was about to text the office and then I realized I had your wrong number in.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I told her, I'm like, yeah, you know, I always answer.
That's really sweet.
But that's like more of like the motherly. And then there's other people that is like, that's my client. Like I'm going toe to toe with somebody for you. You know?
What's your favorite like technology tool, or what's your favorite thing that has helped you in your real estate career?
You're my tool. You're my tool. No, I honestly, obviously chat is great. I'm really trying to get into, you know, posting more and doing things like that. But doing your trainings and coming for every single one that's like in person, not recorded, because that's the money. And those are the tools that I'm using now that are helping me on a day-to-day.
Chat's a good answer. Do you use ChatGPT a lot?
Yeah, especially if I'm moving and grooving quickly. And sometimes when I'm spitting out thoughts, they don't always make sense. And sometimes it's nice to have chat kind of put them in an order in a sequence that my buyer or seller is going to be like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because sometimes when I'm on the fly and I reread it, I'm like, oh my God, like what were you trying to say? So that's helpful. I also, Breezy, I mean, that has been a sick app, especially with comps, because the worst thing is when you have a seller that wants to sell and they want to know what the house is worth. And I'm so sorry, I have to wait and get home and do a CMA. And like, nope, boop, boop, boop. Done.
Do you use the AI feature in it?
So I haven't figured out a way, because I used it for a listing appointment. I just asked the seller, like, hey, do you care if I sit this here? Just so I don't miss anything from our conversation. I've done it like that. I'm trying to figure out how I can get it to record, like, I think it's recording a team meetings automatically, but I'm trying to get it to record like phone calls, but I'm not sure if we have that capability or not.
Yeah.
But I'm using it sometimes, not as much as I should. I feel like it would help me even more if I was using it regularly, but I'm trying.
One thing that an agent just brought up is having it run during buyer showings, like just in your pocket, like just for your own knowledge, and then having it act as a real estate coach and give me 3 things I could have done better in this buyer showing.
And they did that with the Breezy AI part?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that.
So do it on your next like buyer showing where you have it just running for yourself.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. I love Breezy, you know that. And you didn't have to say that, but I appreciate you saying that.
Well, I was thinking about what other tools I'm using, because I don't chat to just clean up things, emails, whatever. But then I was like, what else am I using? But the comps especially.
What is something that you wish more buyers understood about the real estate process?
There's not a perfect house. There has to be certain things that we need to ebb and flow and be flexible on. That's been something that I just wish I could hammer home, is that not everything's going to be perfect, and that's okay.
That's a great answer. I think the enemy of the real estate indecision is time. Like the more time goes on while you're looking, you could be in your house, like making it great for yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that's a great answer. What do you wish that more sellers understood?
I wish more sellers understood that listing your home higher does not leave you more room for negotiation. It literally shoots us in the foot. And that's something that I just wish that sellers would understand, because at the end of the day, buyers are going to look at this home, list at a specific price, and go, what are they thinking? And we're going to turn off a whole pool of buyers before we even get them through the door. So having those conversations up front has been very helpful in working with sellers.
Yeah, you just hit it on the head. Like, I feel like in 2026, you really almost like really piss buyers off by listing too high as a seller because buyers are so fatigued right now. Like everyone feels like they're overpaying anyway.
Yeah.
And if you list too high, like it's like the buyer not only is not interested in your house, but now they're mad at you as a seller already.
Right.
And so even when you come down, it's like they see that one and they have like a subconscious reaction to it. Like we see that all the time where like a home that could have sold in a day. And a day, like every seller is like, well, then you could have gotten more money. No, you couldn't have.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't have. Buyers are buying. They are. Like our market's great if you list the home right. What's something that you thought about real estate agents when you got your real estate license that has been proven to not be true?
Oh, I was definitely one of those people that thought you just got dressed up pretty and opened doors, like 100%, and made a ton of money, right? And until I had friends that worked in the industry, and then until actually doing the work, oh boy, was I sadly mistaken on that. This is the most hustle I have ever done in my life, right? The longest days I've ever worked in my life. My communication skills are on point in terms of keeping clients informed in those different points. Like that has come into play a lot. But the amount of over communication and tough conversations that are so exhausting, right? So like those are things that I never thought were going to be a part of this. That's what you were saying about good agents. You don't know as a buyer or a seller all the things that are happening behind the scenes. And let me tell you, it's constant. So yeah.
That's a great answer. And also, by the way, you're like very close with Caroline, right? And she dresses up pretty and opens doors and makes a ton of money because she's very, 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 very good at selling real estate.
She is.
But that perception is her in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
That's so funny.
Well, I'm glad that's what I thought when I quit teaching.
Yeah, no kidding. It drives me nuts when I run into our clients and they're, singing the praises of one of our agents. And then they'll say like, yeah, we had an easy deal. And in my head, I'm like, you had an easy deal? Like you have no idea what, like ignorance is bliss. And it's like, it's whenever a client says that, I'm like, I love that for you. Like when they're like, your team was so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, and
yes, we are very fun. But we are also really great at what we do.
Also keeping it fun for you.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like at the end of a amusement park thing, when the guide is like at the end, like it's just so fun and you like love the guide. Meanwhile, they like we're sprinting in the background doing, keeping the carnival alive for you. Whose episode of The Lemon Drop are you looking forward to listening to most on the team?
Caroline.
I can't wait for hers too.
I can't. Because she's like, I just love now working with her because we have a amazing friendship. But I love working with her and soaking up like every moment that I can spend with her and seeing how she operates. It's like, I know a ton about her, but there's always something else. There's always something else that you can learn. And especially in the real estate and hearing her answer some of these questions, I can't wait to hear what she has to say.
It's so funny you said that because she, when we were at Slayer Circle, so she's like my ride or die, right? I feel like I'm very, very close with her. Yeah. She had us crying in the pool. Like she was holding court and she's, sober too. So it was I would say she had a few drinks, but she hadn't. Yeah. She was just holding court and in a funny mood. When she gets like in a funny mood, she's like, and she was telling us about this bar fight that she got into in college in Boston, how she like punched this girl because she had like said like she earned it. Yeah. And then she got thrown out and then she tried to go back in, got thrown out again. We were crying, laughing. It was the funniest story. Like that girl is a bundle of surprises. It was so funny.
And totally on brand for Boston girls. That's kind of what we do.
Totally.
Bar fights.
And it's funny because as she was telling it, her accent was coming out. And I looked over at Mike and he was like, here we go.
It's so true. When I am hanging out with the Boston guys and like it comes out so strong, but otherwise you can't really.
I feel like Mike and Kara too are like him being from Philly. It's like they're cut from the same.
I know. Same
like,
but different cloth.
Scrappy, gritty cloth, but also super successful.
Yes.
What would you say to yourself 5 years ago for where you are now? Like if you could go back to homegirl who just moved to South Florida.
Just keep going because you have no idea how great life can get. Because I came here in a very dark space. And today it's like never in my wildest dreams would I think I have the life I have today. Never.
I love that so much.
Never.
I would want to ask you, like, what advice do you have for buyers and sellers in this market and like, for people wanting to buy or sell a home? But I'm going to ask this to you a little bit differently. Anyone that wants to change their life, like what advice do you have for them?
Just taking it one step at a time. the big thing that helped me make my leap was, guess what? If it doesn't work, and I feel like this is in all aspects of life, whether it's career, moving, personal growth, if it doesn't work, you can stop. You can move back. You can take your old job back and go, you can always go back, right? If it doesn't work. But in my experience, I don't regret any of the moves that I've made. So
I love that.
yeah.
That is so true. People that wrestle with moving to South Florida, like we see it every day, you know?
Yeah.
And like if you don't like it, you can move back.
Yeah. It's still
And
there.
it'll be a great experience too.
Yeah.
Like that move that when you were talking about how you lived in Boca briefly, like did that change you a little bit, even just being here for a brief second?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I was here for, I think, a year and a half maybe. But yeah, no, I loved it. And then once I went back, boy, did I miss it.
Interesting.
I was like, ugh. And it just didn't work out where I, ended up taking quite a few years to get back here. But yeah, once I lived here, I was like, oh, and had to go back. I wanted back in Florida so bad.
Florida's it, man.
It is.
Love South Florida. Okay, last question. I want you to finish this sentence and like make it your own. You are the real estate agent that what?
We'll talk to you on the phone.
I love that.
Yeah, I want to talk to you. I want to learn everything about you because that is how I'm going to be able to find you exactly what you're looking for. And I feel like things get lost in translation through email, through text. I have to feel the whole conversation, especially if you're relocating, to be able to guide you.
I love that answer so much.
Yeah, I love talking.
It's so great of an answer
and
because
listening.
Yeah.
Right?
You're a good listener. I feel like it's such a good answer because I've done entire transactions over text and I love it. Like if I was buying a house,
Really?
I wouldn't want to talk to someone. Like it's like I just want to put things in writing, have you deal with it. But we as a company, we work with anyone. And so Kim Thompson is a caller too. Like she loves a phone call. And it's funny, she always says, like, I can't hear how you're going to start your next sentence without being on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like how someone inhales to like start their next sentence is a tone thing.
Yeah, and it can change. Like I'll have a text message with someone and it'll feel a certain way. And then you have a conversation and you're like, oh my gosh, this is not at all the vibe the text was giving off. So that's why I always think it's nice to at least have that initial conversation where you can kind of feel each other out and how we operate, and then text make more sense. But yeah, I mean, we'll do it anyway. But I love to talk and learn about you and where you're from and what you're looking for, because then I can give you exactly what you want.
I just learned 14 things about you.
I know. This is so much
I'm
fun.
never going to leave alone the fact that you're a figure skater. You know, I have these like micro obsessions that I can't get out of my head ever. I feel like from now on, anytime anyone ever calls and their kid is into figure skating, I'm going to be like, Marissa. You know, I do it with Joe where it's like firefighting and I'm like, Joe,
yeah.
Or pipes, like copper pipes, like it's like that with Caroline with Boston. Anytime anything like, and she doesn't, it's funny because she's been here for so long that like anytime anything Boston related comes up, I'm like, no, that new restaurant on like Mulberry, like whatever. And she's like, I don't know what
I don't
you're
live
talking
there.
about. And I don't care. Shut up, Holly. Tune in next week to The Lemon Drop. This was Marissa Nerenburg. Say it.
Nerenburg.
I can't say it like that. I feel like you're saying it with an accent. Nerenburg.
No.
Nerenburg. Where do the people connect with you best? Is it on social media?
Yeah,
email?
social media, Instagram.
Thank you so much. This was so great. Thank you for listening to the Lemon Drop podcast produced by Hype Boss and Pod Plus Studios. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, or if you have a real estate related question, or if you want a friend, reach out to the Meyer Lucas team. Our agents are they're just the best. Thank you for listening.